Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Well, you guys, ever since I started in January, what was known at the time naively as Foundation Month, had to bring back the confetti, you know I love it. And I say naively because Foundation Month has crept into, my goodness, it's springtime now, and we still have new foundations coming out. And ever since I started Foundation Month, now I feel like I'm really missing out if I even ever skip a foundation. I kind of feel a duty, you guys. I feel a duty. So we're going to look at one today that's both an oldie but a goodie, but also a new foundation. And that is the Reformulated, it's an oldie but a goodie, the Reformulated Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Plus Long Wear High Coverage Foundation with SPF 25. If this is your holy grail, and if you love this, you might be a little bit nervous. It's a little scary when they reformulate a favorite. So if this is your tried and true favorite, the original, please comment below right now so that I know as I read if you're watching this, with bated breath. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what this new is and what's a little different, etc., etc. This is $64 and comes in 30 shades. I bought shade 4 sight unseen without even thinking about it. I kind of know my shade. It actually looks a little bit dark for me, but I am wearing it right now and it was perfect. But I go a long way back, as so many of us do, with Armani Beauty, so I do know that I'm a shade 4. And if you have been watching my channel for a while, you will know that my holy grail of concealers is the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Concealer. Armani has other concealers that I don't really rate as high, but the Power Fabric Concealer is my absolute favorite. It's a lighter weight concealer, and so it's a perfect match for a fuller coverage foundation. Now, I have, of course, tried the original Giorgio Armani Power Fabric. I don't have it currently in my collection because it was older, and I've decluttered it long before I had a channel, when I was just doing this in print, in magazines, long before I had a channel, so I didn't save it for comparison. Darn it, now I save everything. At any rate, we're going to talk a little bit about the differences here. 30 shades, $64 as I said. This one is 24-hour wear. They've added that in. Let's take a look. I'll show you here. Here is the brand new bottle, and I'm zooming in on it just so you can see the differences. If you own the original, you will know that the original bottle looks like this. Putting that on the screen. The main thing we see here is that we have an addition of a plus sign and the 24-hour wear. And the plus sign is the microfill technology, which is a patented technology that they have added. The problem with patented technologies is you can't question them. They're unique to the brand, and they could kind of say anything. Okay, but giving Armani a little bit of credit for their knowledge in the beauty industry, they say that the microfill technology helps the pigments lay flat and makes seamless blending and weightless and comfy. And I do find it to be weightless and comfy. In a way, I'm both a bad source for a review of a full coverage foundation, but wait, I'm also a good source. I generally don't like them. So if I like a full coverage foundation, it really says something about it. And I will tell you, spoiler alert, I do like this one. I do find it weightless and easy to blend. And today was a great day to use it because you'll see in the demo, my skin isn't looking great today. So sometimes you just need a higher coverage foundation, even if, like me, you usually prefer more of a skin tint. This goes on easily and builds. I use it very lightly today and still achieve a nice amount of coverage. And I do find from my experience that if you are used to wearing Armani, the shades will cross over and match. Now we do have an SPF 25 in here. There was SPF in the first, I do believe, and you won't get all 25 SPF out of it unless you really put a lot of it on, which I did not today. So I am wearing my own SPF, and it is, I believe, yes, a chemical SPF. It is not mineral, depends what you prefer or if you care, and we can talk about that below. All right, what I want to do now is go to me applying it. Now this is just applied with fresh makeup over the top, but please note and stick around for my closing, my little outro. I'm going to film my probably 5 or 6 hours in. I don't know how much time I'll have later, and I will let you know how this foundation wears. Right now, not a great judge of it because I have just put it on, but we will visit that in a wear test at the end, so stay right there. Okay, I honestly wasn't going to film this until probably next week, but then I looked in the mirror and I realized if I ever needed a full coverage foundation, it was today. I am very just kind of broken out. I'm tired. I'm not sick, but for some reason I've got very dry lips, very peeling dry nose, and very kind of broken out, irritated area here, that kind of hormonal area here. And I'm a mess. It'll get better, but it is probably a good day for a full coverage foundation, and I don't usually opt for that. Now, I have chosen a shade 4, which is probably a little bit darker than I've been going with lately, interestingly enough, but it's always what I tend to wear in Giorgio Armani foundation. So, you know, I didn't change with that. So let's see what we think. I'm going to dot it over here. Remember, full coverage. I tend to put on way too much full coverage foundation because I'm so used to my skin tints. This is very lightly fragranced, and it is already dissipating, but there is a very light fragrance. It is not cloying. It does not stick around, but please know it is there. All right, and this is very, very light. This is a Sonia G Fusion brush. They are absolutely wonderful with liquids and foundations. I think I can actually go a little bit heavier than that. I really need it around the chin area. But I was being very careful because sometimes, and I do this with the Patrick Star One Size, the BBB, that balm, I can go to town with it like it's a light coverage, and then I'm sorry I did that, and I have to get it off my hands and all that. Okay, a little bit more here. This is really quite nice. I'd forgotten how much I liked the original, and we know I love the concealer in this line. And again, it looks like I'm really scrubbing at my face. This is a very soft brush, and I'm being very gentle, so please know that. All right, let's see what happens. I'm going to use the Power Fabric Concealer, of course. Don't twist my arm, right? But let's see what happens if I just take a little off the cap and just kind of put it around these areas that feel kind of, not blemishy, but kind of just like the skin is irritated and kind of broken out, really. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you outside. That's a very light covering of a very full foundation. You understand what I mean. I don't generally prefer very, very deep, full foundations, full coverage foundations, but today I need it. So when I use a full coverage foundation, I wear it lightly. And when I when I wear a light coverage foundation, I go a lot heavier on it. I wonder if something should be telling me. I should be listening to myself there. Okay, let's go outside into the warm California sunshine. Take a look at my face just like it is now with absolutely nothing else on it. No concealer even. And see what you think. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish my face for the day. I will film my little intro in fresh makeup, and then we will take a look at my face quite a few hours down the line, and we'll talk about how this redone version of the Armani Power Fabric holds up through the day. So stay right there. Back again. It's been 6 hours. Full disclosure, I have touched up my lipstick, but everything else remains as it did when I did the intro and the makeup was fresh. You know what this is. The reformulation really has just either improved or kept the same. From my memory serving, I can't tell too much of a difference. And what this is a good, old-fashioned, reliable, full coverage foundation. Kind of like the way we see the original Estee Lauder Double Wear. This is not as thick as Double Wear. This is actually for someone like me who doesn't love a full coverage foundation. This is a very doable foundation. Very matte, but natural matte. It is not settling in patches, and if it were going to do that, it would do it today because I have these real dry spots. It is definitely giving me a little bit more confidence today because my skin is not at its best, and I feel that it really is making it look as if it is much better than it is. Has not settled around my nose, has not settled in around the eyes. I am wearing it with, of course, its little sister product, which is the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Concealer. My absolute favorite, a lighter weight concealer to go with a slightly fuller weight or fuller coverage foundation. This is just kind of an old-fashioned, reliable one. If you are someone who really, really relies upon a full coverage foundation, this is a good choice for you. We see brand new skin tints, it feels like every other week, especially this year, but we don't often see really good full coverage foundations. And if you are someone who relies on full coverage, you are, I believe, best off. I do like the Patrick Star One Size BBB cream. I do, and that's much fuller coverage. However, I really feel if you love a full coverage, stick with what you know. And this, I do not believe they have ruined this at all in reformulating it. I really like it. I do see what they mean about the pigments laying flat. I haven't had any trouble with it. I've worn it all day. It is extremely comfortable. It used to be, and if you are above the age of 30, you'll know, it used to be that full coverage foundation felt like you could write your name in it with your fingernail, and you just wanted to, if you were like me, just to get it off of your face. Felt heavy, didn't breathe. This is nothing like that. It's a really nice next generation reformulated high coverage foundation, full coverage. And you know, for me, it's going to be something I rely on days like this. So you know, I can go either way. I do prefer a lower coverage, kind of that you can see my skin through, but today this was really nice, especially when applied sparingly. All right, so let me know your thoughts. Do you love the original? What do you think of this one? We do have that chemical sunscreen in there. So tell me what you think of that. That seems to be unavoidable, you guys. If you've noticed, I've kind of stopped rallying against it like I was still doing in January. The rebirth of the new me, there's just the SPF and all of it. Please remember that you won't get the full SPF 25 benefit, but you know, it's a little extra. So let me know what you guys think of that. If you were going to find your shade, if your shade stayed the same, if you are a fan of the original, what you think about it being reformulated. I don't think they've ruined it. I have so many questions for you guys, so make sure that you comment below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I sure hope that you did. And if you haven't already done so, my goodness, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Lots of good stuff coming up, and I want to see all of you in the next video. Bye-bye.